Hey guys, be sure to like and subscribe. I got a great story today. Yesterday I went to the airport and I picked up my girlfriend's sister and her kids. And it was kind of interesting because I didn't know one of her children were deaf. And when he got into the van, because we rented a van, it cost us about $40 to go from where we are to go pick them up. So it was a really good, we got a good deal on the van too. But anyhow, what happened is this. We went in to pick them up, and that's when I found out about him being deaf. And I actually had my bone conductive headphones on me. And I'm thinking to myself, I says, man, I wonder what this kid can pick up off those. Can he hear something? Will he feel the vibrations? Because the vibrations on that are more pronounced because it goes into your temple, then into your ear canal. So I'm sure he wouldn't be able to hear it, but he'd pick up the vibrations. And remember, hearing is all about vibrations, so it's kind of like sensing vibrations in your ear, and it just kind of makes it into like sound in our ears or whatever, and somehow it changes it into whatever it does. You know, it does its magic, we'll say, because it is kind of magic the way sound works when you think about it, because people have different voices and there's all different types of sounds, and we don't just hear thumps. I mean, when you think about it, a deaf person basically all they can do is feel. If they're totally deaf, they can feel thumps and vibrations and stuff. So I was wondering how this would work. What would happen if I put the Aftershokz bone conductive technology headphones on this boy? So we did. What I did was I went into my music and I says, I'm going to find something with a lot of bass that's pretty loud and something fun that he can watch also. So I look in there and I'm looking under my reggae music, because reggae has a pretty good beat to it, let's face it. And I love Alpha Blondie. I don't know if anybody out there has ever heard of Alpha Blondie. I don't care if you're old or young, you'll love Alpha Blondie, because he plays Led Zeppelin in reggae style. He plays the song Whole Lot of Love. Now everybody knows Whole Lot of Love if you're our age. And you got to listen to Alpha Blondie play this, because this guy just kicks butt on it. But anyway, and he has a great video. Watch the video on YouTube. But anyway, this boy, he puts on the headphones. I put on Alpha Blondie, and I hand the phone to my girlfriend to hand to him. Next thing you know, he's over there. He's got a big smile on his face, and he's going. And he's kind of like moving with the music a little bit. He could actually feel it, if not hear it. We don't know how deaf he really is, whether he has some sensation. Some people think that because you pick up vibrations that you have some hearing, but that's not totally true. There's a difference between picking up vibrations and hearing. Even though hearing has to do with vibrations, the two are different. Okay, because if you're feeling it in your temple, you're not hearing it, you're feeling it. Okay, although your ears pick it up and make voices beautiful and have different tones and all that stuff, it's kind of a miracle and a magic that we have in our ears when we think about it. But this kid, it was wonderful to watch him and just sit there and kind of enjoy the moment and just sit there and watch him, watch this video, and he's kind of smiling and he's feeling the beats, and he's like, so we knew he was enjoying it. So over the coming weeks, he's here for a couple weeks. I'm going to try some other stuff on him and see how he likes it. I'll bet you he'll like it. I was thinking about Bob Marley, because it's got that slow, nice beat to it. Maybe some other music too. Be kind of enjoyable to just watch the kid enjoy himself. Possibly, it's kind of similar to hearing in his own way, even though it's vibrations. And we all know, like I said, vibrations are different than sound for sure, because we don't have the tones and all that stuff, and I'm sure music sounds a lot different. But when you listen to a beat, it's kind of cool, because I'm sure a lot of deaf people don't know what beats are. But when you're watching people dance and stuff, and you're getting into the beat that way, I'm sure you pick up some of that, even if it's a bit of it. So I'm sure he'll enjoy what I'm going to show him and stuff. I hope so anyway. I just thought it was kind of cool. I just want to share that with you guys. But also I want to share this. When you come over here, a lot of things that we have in us, we've stored so much information in our bodies as Westerners and in our minds. Well, I should say in our minds. And we've stored so much information in our minds back home that we have all that information in us, and we should share that with people over here when we find the opportunity to try to show people. And just Ask them, say, want me to show you something different, a different way of doing that or whatever? Be kind about it. You know, don't be a Mr. Know-it-all all the time over here. A lot of Westerners come over here and think that they're Mr. Know-it-all because they come from the US or from a Western country or whatever. Don't play that card. Just be kind. Be kind to them. Otherwise, you're going to make them feel like they're stupid or something, and that's not cool. We need to be kind in the way we teach people, and that's the key. And over here, a lot of Westerners kind of want to show their know-it-all attitudes, kind of pumped up their ego or whatever. I'm not about that, and neither should you. When you come over here, humble yourself a little bit and just help people. Help people as much as you can. You know me, I always talk about that. We talk about that a lot on this channel. We need to humble ourselves. We have a lot of knowledge in us to help people and show people things. And sometimes, you know what? For a couple dollars, we might be able to help somebody over here greatly because that person's so poor. And I see that all the time over here. I have a lot of opportunities over here to help people, even animals sometimes. 5 minutes ago, I'm inside the park here. There's a fence that surrounds the whole park. There's only the front gate. That's the only way you can get out. So there was a cat in here, a kitten. He must have fell in here. I'm not sure how he got in here. But over in the back here is a graveyard, and there's a door there, and there's like an opening underneath the door, a small opening. So I kind of pushed him through the opening and got him to the other side because I don't know where he belonged. But he was whining. When he saw me, he started following me, figuring, hey, this is my last chance out of here. You know, so I got to follow this guy. So he started following me thinking, this guy's going to be my lifesaver. I'm allergic to cats, so I can't take him. So I just figured I'd shove him through the hole and at least he could find his way back home because he was probably from the squatters area next door. I'm not sure if it's a squatters area or what I would call it. There is some squatters over there. I'm not sure if all of them are. But the houses are, I'll just say they're ramshackle houses, let's put it that way. But anyway, the kitten ran off and ran in that direction. So I'm sure he'll be okay now. Hopefully. God willing. I mean, I love animals, unless they're barking all the time outside my window or something. That's when I say, nah, I don't need to deal with this. But over here, we're going to deal with that. But anyway, when you're out there, you see things, help. Help if you can, if you have the capability. As many times I walk by places and I'm like, I know I can't help this. I have the money that I could, but I don't have the time or whatever, because you're going to run into all kinds of opportunities where you can help, but sometimes you can't save the world. I seen a dog that was totally bald the other day. I was telling somebody this story too, and the dog didn't have a single hair on his body. He had lost it all to whatever, some sort of skin disease. And the dog come up to me with his head hung low. He wanted some attention. You could tell nobody wanted to touch the dog because of the way the dog looked, nor did I. I didn't want to risk getting some sort of skin disease or anything. That's all I need. Anyway, he come over to me and I'm looking at him saying, man, this dog would probably be a nice dog if you just gave him a bath, put a towel around him and took him to a veterinarian and spent like $300 on him or whatever. He'd probably never forget that. He just wouldn't. But I mean, where do you draw the line? Because you know what? Once you pick that dog up and you go walking home, you're probably going to see another one just like him. Because around here, we see that all the time. It's quite common. But like I said, we can't save the world. But sometimes those small little things that we can do, like I did for the kitten, we can surely do those. Those don't cost anything. And sometimes some of the things are so low cost. Maybe you see somebody sleeping on the sidewalk. Maybe it's a woman with a baby. Maybe she's homeless, what have you. You can go up and buy her a piece of bread and bring it back and hand her a couple dollars or whatever, a couple pesos, and help her. And I'm sure it'll help her. But be careful who you help too. Like I said, help the people that you know you can help, that you can lift up a little bit. I myself am a little bit different when I think about helping people. Because when I see homeless people on the street, I see them as, if I give this person 20 pesos or 40 pesos, it might buy them food for the day, but is it helping them out of their situation? And in most cases, no, it doesn't. And I believe in doing like mini grants that'll help these people get off the streets. And what you do is you help them little by little. You make sure that they follow like a guideline. You set up everything and tell them what they need to do. And if they don't do that, then you just pull the rest of the funding, because you give it to them a little bit at a time. They want to start a small business or something, you say, okay, let's go get this stuff. Then come back and make sure that they have the stuff out in their store. And then you go from there, if that's what you want to do. I'm just using that as an example. There's many examples. Help somebody get a job, perhaps. Maybe it's a man that needs to get a guard card or whatever. It's really hot here, guys. I'm sorry, I'm sweating like anything. Maybe it's somebody that needs a guard card. A woman that needs to go and get some sort of health checkup or whatever to get a job working at SM or some other place, or McDonald's or what have you. Those are the ways you help people. Because those people, sometimes as people live in squatters area, they're looking for a job. They just don't have the money to do the health checkup. And that's the way you do it. You help those people. That way you're putting food on their table and you're letting them do it. You're giving them some self-pride. That's the way to help people in this world. Anyway, guys, I just want to run through that a little bit, kind of help you to help other people and understand things here. You're going to see a lot of things here that you never saw before when you're living over here. You're going to experience a lot of things. And you're going to take on a different attitude probably if you have an open mind over here. Some people don't have an open mind. I do. And if you let the Philippines change you, it will, in a really good way. Your heart will be bigger. Your mind will expand. You'll look at things different in the world. And you'll love people more. And you'll have some wonderful experiences to look back on as you age. And that's the great part about the Philippines. It's a great part about aging too, to have good things to look back on. I know a lot of us come over here. We're getting away from the U.S. We've talked about that. We talk about it a lot on this channel. But when you come here, that all changes, and for the good. For most people, some people are susceptible and open game for problems. Some of that has to do with their attitude, but they don't want to look inward to see that that's the problem. They look at it and blame the rest of the world. Okay? When you come over here, look inward at yourself and say, what parts can I get rid of? What can I do to get rid of those? And throw those parts away. Start your new life. Expand. I expanded over here, and I'm happy that I did. I love the Philippines. I love the people. I love my life. And when you come over here, guys, I'll bet you will too. But remember, keep this in mind. 1/3 to maybe even 2/3 leave. One reason or another, they leave. I don't know why. Some people I do know why, some people I don't. I've talked to some people that have left. They're disgruntled. They're not happy here in the Philippines for one reason or another. I was going to sit down, but there's ants there now. Anyway, and if you come over here with an attitude like that, yeah, you're going to end up leaving because you didn't leave that on the tarmac. You have to come over here and know that life over here is not as good as back home in some respects. We don't have a Western lifestyle over here by no means. Okay? It's what you make of it. You can make it over here if you're willing to change yourself a little bit. My house is pretty Western. When I'm home, I feel like I'm back in the States, kind of. I have everything I need. But when I go out, I know it's not going to be Western. Sometimes I get lucky. I find a nice Western restaurant. And those are the things that make life tough over here sometimes. Because when you're traveling out in the provinces, all those things go away. And that's when life starts getting hard. For some of us. Some of us don't mind. They don't mind eating street food or Filipino food or whatever. I do. That's rough for me. I like having my Western food, no matter what it is. Whether it's beef stew, clams, haddock, cod. I'm from Massachusetts. I like having foods like that. Lobster, hamburgers, steaks. I like all kinds of foods, but you know what? Over here, that's hard to come by. Every once in a while, I'll make myself a good stew or something. Just because it makes me feel like I'm kind of back home a little bit in New England. I do miss New England, the place. And I kind of miss the people there a little bit. I don't miss their politics anymore for sure. That's all gone. But anyway, guys, I want to talk a little bit about that. Just fill you guys in on what's going on over here. I hope you enjoyed today's vlog, guys. God bless. Take care.